Hello, fellow investors. Right, okay, going straight into the portfolio. As you can see there, quite a varied one. I have over 70 holdings in my portfolio, varying amounts, as you can see. I'm going to quickly flash through them here. As I say, if you want to see more, pause the video. But again, yeah, varying amounts. Some quite into the many hundreds, some are literally just a few pounds into there. Now, the long and short of it is the portfolio is very varied. I consider myself to be quite overrepresented with regards to REITs, BDCs and banking shares. In that particular regards, one or two, well, in fact more than a handful of ETFs in there with regards to decent dividend paying stock as such. Now, Greencoat UK Wind is always nice to hold. I intend to increase my position in that. Lloyds Bank, surprisingly, is doing quite well currently. As you can see there, quite a good profit on that. Yep, as I say, going through usual suspects with regards to what you'd expect. Some not doing too good, some you'd expect to do well, like National Grid, but never mind. A recent acquisition of mine is OSB Group 1 Savings Bank. Only a few pounds in at the moment. I intend to build that up. As I say, because I have confidence in the company. But again, looking at that more of a growth stock, which is rare for me. I'll just see how it does. They do pay a dividend. Right, okay, quite a few renewables in there. With regards to two solar funds, Greencoat UK Wind and Trig. With regards to that particular aspect, looking good due to the recent change of regime. The current regime looks favourably upon them, so we shall see if that affects them. As with property, Taylor Wimpey doing quite well for a small holding. Yeah, it's up quite well too. Yeah, there's quite a few monthly payers in there that do pay quite well, given my small holding in there, and some of the usual ones you'd expect to see in a really balanced portfolio. Unilever. The Vanguard ETF was the UKE. Okay, going into the percentage amounts, you can see here 70 holdings, and again the highest one is SDIP, which again pays quite handsomely, but again a lot invested by my standard. Don't think I'll put much more into that. Okay, quite a few in there that are doing quite well. The ones that I am particularly happy with are Legal & General and HSBC. HSBC is paying extremely well. Go into that a little bit later on. Quite a lot of REITs in there. AEWU, they're quite a consistent payer. And again, I have a reasonable holding in that by my standards. Again, a few American ones in there, as I say, which are not doing as well as I would have hoped. But again, I hold them because it's nice to have quarterly payers. Right, okay, there we go. Right, going into the meat of it, with regards to the dividends received for the month of June and the early part of July. Okay, June, particularly good month. Right, starting that off. Now, with regards to the payments received, as you can see there, last payment from British Aerospace, I've liquidated that and realised a profit. And again, going through, you can see quite a good payment there from Unilever. As I say, with regards to Global X, SDIP, not so good. Okay, AGNC, always a good monthly pair that comes in quite well. As you can see, the smaller holdings still pay quite well relative to their value. As you can see, HSBC, they're extremely good month with regards to their payments and their how could we say, the specials. Solar Fund Bluefield, yeah, this value is not doing too good, but it pays consistent dividends. I've got a gold stock there again, just simply because. Okay, now going into the others, a lot of these are monthly payers, ARR. Again, yeah, not so good since the reverse stock split, but nonetheless still pays a reasonable amount. Going into the usual ones, there's a few energy stocks here. Shell and BP. BP's having a bad performance currently, but again, that's just the way things are. Okay, a few different stocks in there. Diversified Energy, they've got a good track record for paying out high stocks, but again, I don't believe it's going to be sustainable for the future. But again, that's advanced stuff, and I'm not going into that at this point. This is just basically a quick flash of the holdings, and again, how well they're doing. Indeed, as I say, I'll go into it in more detail later on with regards to that, but as you can see, the current total was quite reasonable considering I have been only investing since last year as such, so quite happy, and again thank you. Right, going into my tracker, I use Div Tracker, the one with the palm tree. I find this one to be quite reliable, and again this is a history here of 2023 when I first started to receive dividends, and again you can see the progress has been quite encouraging, moving along there. But as I say, going into this year 2024, you can see it's been up and down, but again the best month by far would have been June. I don't believe that figure is 100% there. I believe there might be a few pounds variation, but again well over £70 for the holding of my amount is pretty good. Right, okay, so you can see there in more detail with regards to the payments expected and indeed received. You can correlate them against the dividends actual in 212's app, but as I say, I think this is not a bad representation. It does show you the quarterly and indeed the frequency of payouts there with regards to that, but yeah, I'm more than happy. Legal in general, extremely happy, as well as HSBC, so it's an extremely good month that month. Okay, going through, looking through here, you can see a stip £3.30. That can vary a little bit with regards to the payments, but again I'm happy with that. Yeah, quite a few of my renewables, well, quite a few. I believe there's just the one there, the Trig one, which again is not too bad with regards to its payout, but yeah, quite happy. As I say, going into July, as you can see so far, these are received payouts, which indeed are faithful to what I've actually received, and again looking good there with regards to the payments that have come in and the expected payments too. As you can see, I'm expecting payments quite often throughout this particular month. There might be, I think the longest I'm going to go without a payment in any of these months is about a week. Sometimes several payments on the same day, as you can see there. So quite happy with that. As I say, little bits coming in, again, does a trick for me. I like to see those payments coming through, and again I reinvest everything. Do not take anything out, it goes straight back in. But again, yeah, it's looking good again for this month. Obviously not as good as last month, but swings and roundabouts, as they say. But given the low value of my holding, I think that's doing quite well. As I said before, I am primarily a dividend investor. One or two, maybe I might speculate for growth, but again, I like to receive those payments coming through. So, yeah, as I say, this is a very handy tool. Now, something in particular with regards to this particular stock, something that Stock Events, I believe, does not have, and it does allow you to be able to set the dividend tax rate, the withholding tax rate, so that you know you're going to get a faithful representation. So many people say this is what I was paid in this month. It doesn't show the dividend or withholding tax rate. And again, being a UK stock investor, I will not touch European stocks simply because their withholding tax is over the top. But yeah, this is expected annual amount at this moment in time, and again, that can change on a daily basis. It really can. It depends on declarations and so forth. They have an events calendar in there as well that shows you how the companies are doing with regards to cuts and declarations of dividends. But yeah, more than happy with that. And again, it keeps me going. I don't have to pay a penny for it. But there we have it. Now, as I said before we go into my premium bond holdings, I'll make it very clear. I do not follow any structure as such. With regards to this, I do my due diligence. But again, to a limited degree. There are many people, and hats off to them, that look at varying things such as changes of CEO, potential court cases and things like that, which is commendable. It's all good. I don't. I look at past performance, which I know you shouldn't do, but I do. And again, I look at their yield. And if the yield is good enough for me, and I believe they're in with a chance, I will put my money into them. Again, haphazard. I'm fully prepared to admit that. As I said, this works for me. As I said before, I don't put much of my own cash into this. Literally, it's just a few pounds. Maybe it could even sometimes be as low as £1 a day. Literally that low. I have my own particular method of funding this. I don't use much of my disposable income. As I say, this is I see as a quite an exciting little hobby, and again at this moment in time I'm reinvesting my dividends in, and again it's slow progress, and it will be. There's no two ways about that. I can't afford to put hundreds of pounds in. Indeed, I would feel terrible if I lost that money. So this really is just a case of putting in what I can afford to put in, and again reinforcing those dividends that come through. And again, so far so good. The strategy seems to be working. Right, okay. Going on to my premium bonds, bear with me. Right, okay, as you can see, I have had a good month this month. This is the second amount I won of that amount since I've been holding premium bonds, which again I believe is just over a year now. And again, for my holding, I don't hold the maximum holding, nothing near it. But again, a sizable amount nonetheless. But again, very pleased with that. As I say, in this particular regard, it's come in handy for me. I'm having some, how can we say, some issues at the moment with regards to cash flow, because this month is always a very expensive month. For instance, this particular payment has paid about 96% of my car insurance and my house and contents insurance as such. So I'm more than happy with that. It's offset quite a nasty bill, specifically with regard to the way insurances are just going through the roof at the moment. There seems to be no safeguarding the customers. They seem to be charging what they want. And again, if we're being charged for airport fires at certain London regional airports and so forth, or the loss of shipping outside of the UK's territorial waters and things such as that, which I know does have a factor. I think it's entirely wrong for them to profiteer. However, as I say, if you're looking at it from a point of view of investing, invest in those insurance companies. Aviva are doing quite well, and so are Legal in general. Yeah, as a consumer, from a consumer point of view, yeah, it's terrible, and I think we all know that. It's slightly going off topic there, but needless to say, having those premium bonds is very handy, and again, it's paid out quite well. I believe since I've been holding them, I've had in the region of £1,200, and that's not bad for the holding value that I have over the years period. So hopefully we'll get some more like this in the future, if not larger, but again, I'll be happier with smaller. Thank you.